So I mean, for us, it's free. We launched in June. We launched at the iHub.
Yeah.
We already have 800 people who've registered online.
Very nice.
There's no mass media communication. There's nothing that it's just WhatsApp groups and guys within the community saying,
this is
by the way,
worth,
we are going for this event. I mean, it's already packed before we even started.
nice, yeah.
We have over 40 speakers who are coming to the Tech Week. We already have 50 startups who are going into the deal rooms. I mean, we have Africa's Talking doing a hackathon.
Yeah.
I mean,
probably get 200 devs in there.
I mean, yeah. So I mean, there's and that's what we say is an ecosystem. So what there's space for everyone as long as you are bringing value to the ecosystem. There's space for us to be able to co-create, have it doesn't have to be. Not everything has to have an end that you can see. Sometimes is within tech. We are exploring. I mean, we even have WorldCoin as part of...
Talk about that for 2 minutes, actually, Kaka. Because I was going to ask about data and data infrastructure, especially in terms of the county government. How are you guys thinking about that? How can you provide more data via maybe even APIs to innovators? And then how are you thinking about, like Nairobi County, City County, having infrastructure. Let me give you an example. Some of the tech startups are they have to host their solutions locally. It will be very interesting, even as you're building roads, which I've seen actually are doing very well, even in the estates, building, extending fiber, extending electricity, to also consider Nairobi County data center. Or the infrastructure that the startups know.
Even if it's in partnership.
Yes, even if it's in partnership, something interesting. But share your thoughts about that.
So Nairobi County has a data center.
Wait. Are you serious?
Nairobi County has a data center. It's only that, I mean, it was...
First of all, you know how many people are shocked? I don't even know.
How can you even access it?
Are you even serious?
There is a data center that was funded.
All right.
That... I mean, due to political turmoil from the previous regime, was never actually fully
operationalized. But please talk about that, because I'm shocked.
We can go tomorrow.
That was so futuristic. I'm so impressed.
We can go.
Is it in Konza? Where is it?
No, it's actually at City Hall.
Are you serious?
I mean, tomorrow we can go with you and I can show you the data center that is there.
Wow.
The thing is it's not as fully operational. So what we are trying to do...
Is it somewhere that the innovators and devs and cyber people can try hands to do?
What we are doing, and this is the chief for ICT, is called John, very nice guy, called John Lintari, is focusing on, is just trying to update and operationalize the data center, because of course for a long time it wasn't used.
Yes.
So I mean, we're in that process. Probably this financial year is just to be able to actualize that. But in terms of
hey chief, that's crazy.
But in terms of data, one of the things you said APIs, and I was like, hey boss. So one of the things we are trying to do is through the different collaborations is to be able to automate that data. So there's a lot of data that sits in the county in different sectors, health, etc. But it's not in a format,
people can
in a digital format,
and create even more value out of it.
In a manner that you can be able to use for innovation. Let's say, for example, even I give the example of startups in health. They're like, we need real data within the sector. So when we say maternal deaths, how many, where, etc., that data maybe in an anonymized manner that can allow me to be able to
yes. Yeah. Even something as simple as kiosks. Where are the kiosks?
So that is something that is work in progress.
Or the cameras all over the place.
I will not say that it is something that is already there, but I mean through the different collaborations we can be able to structure sector focused data. So if we don't have that data automated within health, how can we be able to automate that, anonymize in a manner that can be consumed in a manner that does not respects the privacy of the person or of the respondent. So I mean, those are the interesting conversations that we are starting to have. We are starting with baby steps. Hopefully by year 5, then we can be able to say we are API ready.
Yes.
We are Chonjo Camp.
Because that's actually data is as photo. So the new oil, if you could say it.
So this chief has been in the ecosystem for over 10 years.
Yes.
There's a question I'm tempted to ask him.
Okay.
I don't know if you remember Open Data program by ICT Ministry. I don't know what happened to that initiative.
Oh, there was even a portal.
Yes, you could actually log in. It had some nice APIs. You could get all the hospitals.
Are you sure it was not killed by the there was another digital wave of government that was something like IFMIS. When IFMIS came, like open data disappeared. Please
Maybe
tell us, Kaka.
yes,
maybe I'm thinking too much.
You're aware of open data?
I am aware of that.
Yes.
I, of course, I'm not privy to any information
what happened?
around the same. Maybe just to maybe I can revisit, maybe through collaboration or reaching out to
the national government,
to see the possibility of having that, and maybe populating for Nairobi County and using that as a portal where you can be able to access without having to reinvent the wheel.
Yeah, because it was a rich data, but to me it felt like Kenya was ranked as one of the
most open
government. But of course,
that was before. It was before 2010. That thing, that platform. It was after
during
2010.
Kibaki time and then transitioning to Uhuru and Retold time. And actually, most people could actually innovate a lot because now they could just plug in, get the data, clean it a bit, make it information, and build a solution around it. And then it disappeared. Now you can imagine you had plugged in somewhere and then the pipe is cut.
It's true.
It really throws you off the balance, and then there is that trust and issues. To do that. So I think that's something else that we can evaluate going forward. But I wanted to share with guys about Innovate Week. So I think Victor has talked about it. So if you're looking for it, just search or go to your Google, do innovatenairobi.go.ke. You'll find Innovate Nairobi Tech Week 2023. That's what we're talking about. You'll see the sectors that are represented. But of course, we give some suggestion to the team to add more sectors in tech that I think they're working on. Regarding the hackathon, it's also live and it's active. People are registering. I checked a few hours ago. There are over 70 guys who have confirmed. You can find it under community.ilaria.com/Africa-talking-community. You'll find the event there under global events. Sign up, please come, prepare, sharpen your tools if you're a developer. But I wanted to ask this.
Let me say something about that. Every day, we have 4 days of hackathons. Every day, we are treating it like a full Africa's Talking hackathon. So there will be a prize every day for the first, second, and third for each of those verticals. So we're talking about UI, UX, talking about front-end designers and front-end frameworks, back-end APIs, infra
deployment.
And then to wrap it up, if you are also the best solution, there's also a winner. So there's a winner for each day and also
overall winner.
And we are going to get the subject experts in UI, UX, in front-end, back-end, and SRE to talk, at least do a little
experts. We're not talking just other guys. These are guys who are doing things.
People who have worked on these solutions. So please come if you're able to come.
And in addition to that, because most people hear Africa's Talking now, they say Africa's Talking is equals to hackathon. No, we don't stop at the pricing level. Actually, for us, pricing is not the key.
So
you have several programs that actually follow the process, whereby you get to join apprenticeship programs, you get to join marketplace programs, and all these are just meant to scale your solution across Africa.
So and we definitely are going to work with Victor here.
And Nairobi County now is on board.
Solutions.
Yes.
May be very interesting.
You know, Victor and Nairobi County can speak a lot. But without action, we are not getting anywhere. So we want to collaborate with people like Victor, who actually have the vision, the strategy, and also, the policy side of things to make sure that Nairobi is now scaling solution across Africa. Something else worth noting is that there are companies actually who are coming and hiring through the hackathon process. So if you're a company out there struggling to get a proper developer, the hackathons are part and parcel of this process. Come partner with
pipeline.
us. Let's rise up and, as we create the organization for startups, you also create pipelines for developers, good engineers. Right? So that's some of the things.
And it's something we'll be doing in Nairobi County. We just need to figure out the frequency. But this hackathon will not end on the 11th. We'll continually have scheduled hackathons with the Nairobi County, and also discussions. So let's just say we have begun the journey.
Capacity building is a major issue for us. And we're not just talk, we are doing the work. On Friday, we're actually graduating our first cohort of 50 graduates who've done basic coding, just doing a basic website. So these are random young guys that we made a call for application. They came in partnership with Moringa School and World Vision.
Very good.
So so even there, I think the 50 people that
are coming to the hackathon, yes,
for them to come to be able to come to the hackathon. So capacity building is something that is a major pillar for us. We have ICDL.
Talk about that program a bit and even invite people who want to partner on that one.
Yeah, so I mean, so the idea around capacity building as a vertical is that we need to be able to build capacity and have a continuous pipeline of engineers, of startups that are coming through. So the assumption that we always take is that the engineers always have to have a university degree. So what we are saying is we have 10 vocational training centers that are there in the county. So where a lot of young guys who either drop out from school, from primary or high school, go to do hairdressing, mechanic and stuff. And we've never taken, even at that level, ICT as a serious thing. So what we are saying is we've partnered with the ICDL for them to be able to join, and you don't have to have any prerequisite in terms of being a Form 4 graduate or study leaver. Is as long as you have the enthusiasm, you can be able to come do your basic, packages. Then, of course, we can be able to keep growing, and of course, at some point, you can be able to come join the hackathon. And by the time
build solutions.
By the time you are here, this is someone who doesn't have. He's a school dropout, but we've given them an opportunity to be able to operate within the digital economy. And for us, I think that's where the real impact is, and that's the reality that we have. So when we say we have hustlers, we need to be able to pick them up from where they are. No questions asked. Just
here's an opportunity.
Here's an opportunity. I mean, if you're enthusiastic about the same, and of course we can be able to look at the entire value chain and ensure that at least you get something. We're not guarantees. We are not giving you guarantees, but we are giving you the opportunity for you to be able to have options.
Maybe something else I've remembered about our hackathons. So please, if you're out there, you want to participate, we don't appreciate PowerPoint presentations. Your solution is your PowerPoint solution. So don't worry about preparing this idea, problem statement. I don't know, the projections. Those are no here, no there. And you heard from even Victor himself. The customer is the right investor.
It's true.
And the customer invests in solving their problem. So the solution should work. That's what you present. And anyone who is participating in the hackathon, you're also a judge of the best solution at the end of the day. So take note of that. Come prepared. Start sharpening your tools. That means setting up your environment. If you want to learn UI UX, you want to learn front-end development, check what is required. If you want to learn back-end development, check what you want to learn. And finally, how do you deploy the solution? 4 days of proper writing code and deploying it. So you're all welcome. Going forward, of course, there are already existing startups. What should they expect from the Tech Week?
So startups who've registered for exhibition have the opportunity, of course, to be able to showcase their innovations across, to different investors, to county officials. So we've invited CECs, we've invited chief officers, we've invited directors across all sectors within the county so that they can be able to interact with different solutions that are out there. So we have exclusive deal rooms that are there that we've set out for startups. We already have 50 startups who've registered for the deal rooms. I mean, it's not a guarantee of investment, but it's just to be able to have start a conversation around investments. Of course, from an investor perspective, we're also giving them a pipeline. Also, as well as startups, is just co-creation of policy. So the different conversations that are going to happen. We have 12 tracks that are being discussed, from smart city, talent. I mean, all manner of conversations that are going to happen. I mean, you can be able to plug in to this conversation, give your views, and possibly, help in co-creation of either collaboration or give feedback in terms of programs for CSOs or even corporates. It can be able to inform policy from a government perspective. We can be able to pick that feedback, and that's very important for us. Then, of course, after the event, it's not just an event. We want to be able to activate the self-register database for startups to register. So every other startup can be able to register within the Nairobi portal. We can be able to verify that. Of course, we have through collaboration with the stakeholders.
County government,
just
the KRA also can be able to tell you.
So I mean, we have even an interesting product that we are exploring with DTB in terms of this is one of the challenges that I pose to them is, can you be the Silicon Valley Bank for Kenya? And can you be able to sit down and get a product that can be a fit for purpose for startups.
Mm.
So when you say due diligence, KRA, etc., you need to be able to have a back end in terms of an institution that can be able to do due diligence. So that by the time you are registered as a startup there, I mean, an investor he just gets a report.
Yes.
I mean,
this is interesting. So this will actually become a list of fundable startups in Nairobi.
Did you say DTB will be doing due diligence?
Do this?
No, I'm saying we need to be able to have a framework and institutions that it is in their day-to-day job.
Yes, although bankers don't play.
No, I have my opinion.
Bankers don't play.
Referring to Chase Bank.
No. I agree. All I'm saying is not to.
Kaka, we have been in this ecosystem.
Not to market. Not to
there are
market.
some jokes people are not getting.
No, but not to market the TB, but look at the number of years that the bankers.
Yes, of course.
You always look at history and look at the stability of an institution.
Yeah.
And also, if they are willing to work in and say, let's innovate. That's a very
How
big
many
thing.
banks can come say, and we want to join at the Tech Week, not because we want to give sponsorship, but because we want to be able to engage this ecosystem and be able to give value to the ecosystem.
Yeah.
It's true.
So I mean, all I'm saying is we can be able to have a self-register platform.
Portal, yes.
We can be able to do due diligence, not only in terms of business model, but in terms of legitimacy of and having a bankable and investor-ready.
I'm very excited about that, actually. Which means you may also want to provide a framework for grooming these startups as a very important part, so
when you register,
that lack of framework of grooming.
So when you register, of course, you register within a certain vertical, and I think this is linked to what we are calling centers of excellence.
Okay.
So this center of excellence will be both a physical space within the community, but it's also a forum where startups within certain verticals can engage every month. So outside of the Innovation Week, what we intend to do is, let's say, for example, immediately in either September or October, we can have all stakeholder startups as well as different value chain actors in health for a forum, where we can have those kind of mentorship for those who are starting, to
clinics,
to the bigger ones, and where you need to collaborate and fold your companies and have one consolidated startup. Founders issues aside, is we need to be able to tell you upfront, we can't have two startups doing the same thing. Just find a way in which you can be able to split your equity, do your maths, but just come as one. I mean, those are the conversations that we hope to be able to have moving forward. So at next year, when you have an Innovation Week, we are reporting what we've done. So it's an inflection point where we say, we did several hackathons with AT. It didn't work. This worked. These are the opportunities. I mean, if you want to join the bandwagon, you can be able to do that. So it's a continuum of sorts rather than
a flash in the pan.
An event that comes, goes. I mean, it doesn't help.
And actually, it's very nice because I know some of these flash in the pans at the past ended up being not genuine. It's like people wanted just to raise money or,
get positions.
I can see where you're going, but let's say eggshells. But yes.
Get the government listening here.
Get into government.
But ideally, people, I think this is not only in the startup ecosystem. It's an African problem, I would say, whereby people think small, right? Rather than thinking long-term legacy products, legacy things that actually could propel us. Look at IBM. We were looking with you the other day.
Yes.
It is it's the oldest tech company.
Companies,
before computing was really proper computing. They were actually researching. Some of their research informed us how to do computing. They used boards. If you're familiar with engineering. So it takes some time. And you see these are a very young ecosystem if you think about it, because it's not older than 15, 20 years if you think about it.
Yes.
So we have an opportunity actually to leapfrog, but also leapfrog in a right way. So that not only do we speak about M-Pesa, but also have that ability to, and I think I need to mention this, that I saw Safaricom was given a go-ahead to be able to invest in startups, which is a good thing, that they can actually have more M-Pesas come on board, propel them, share the lessons. Now that the governments are trying to also innovate, this could be a collaborative initiative
opportunity,
that it creates one pipeline. And I like mentioning this because people also miss it, that the ecosystem without proper engineering, it cannot survive the test of time. And you've seen different African countries try it. And even here in Kenya, there's that mistake where big tech came in and they found a very nice ecosystem. They didn't care how it was built. Now they started suffering from last year, where they took everyone, and then everyone found an opportunity and they migrated. And then they are like,
in Africa, we are going to see a lot of that if the pipe is not open.
Yes.
And that's why I said, if the foundation of the ecosystem, and this is codified under STISA, the Strategic Science, Technology and Innovation Strategy for Africa under AU.
Okay.
So if you look at the strategy, it mentions specifically infrastructure, talent, of course, policy, as well as entrepreneurship or collaboration. But you can't produce tech. Africa will continue to be
a consumer more than a producer.
Tech than producer because of the lack of a foundation in terms of capacity. That's why I said, and even that capacity has to be built from the ground up.
Yes.
So for the pipeline to happen, we have to be able to take dropouts. We can't just get Campo guys.
Actually, the reason, let me tell you one of the reasons why those people we call dropouts are quite interesting. They are thirsty and curious. That is the difference.
And they're pure pirates.
Yeah, that's
so for them, it's about solving the problem.
Yes.
Anything else is not.
There's no romance here.
And for them, it has to work. They don't have a plan B. This is quite interesting.
Yeah, so that's why even for us, the pillar of capacity, and not just capacity because we want to train, but market-driven capacity building.
Yes.
Partnering with people who know what they're doing and just ensuring that we are able to do it. If you don't have funding for, maybe, for example, you're training your cohort, as government, you can either come fund that cohort or we can be able to get a partner who can pay for that.
Yes.
But either way, people are trained. They say,
very good.
Whether good or bad, the gospel is preached. Whether you preach it from a point of bad faith, good faith,
whether your motives are clean or not.
As long as the gospel is preached, the word of God goes ahead. So the same with the capacity building. We will build capacity, come rain, come sunshine.
Let me add something into that, right? After the gospel is preached, he's saying either it's a good gospel or bad gospel.
Is
the solution is working or it's not working, which goes beyond now the gospel. Which means that if you participate in some of these initiatives, at the end of the day, you will be able to build for the solution that people need. Otherwise, you'll be building for yourself, which is not the best way to go.
No, you can't sell
so
that
we
solution.
encourage you actually to participate. Now, talk to the big tech.
Oh, yes, please.
In regards to
potential partners.
Yes.
Because I know the biggest challenge if you're working in the tech ecosystem, people don't usually want to partner. People don't usually want to support.
Actually, most people,
even when the value you're creating, they need it.
Actually, most people copy pastes. Which is not the best way to go because it creates more silos and and then we don't get somewhere.
Kaka, that is a long story, but just in your own few words.
I mean, for us, I think for us to be able to build an ecosystem, there's a theory what we are calling the triple helix. So the triple helix poses that.
I've seen that something somewhere. I don't know if it is in Strathmore or World Bank.
It's a theory.
So it did not come to play, Kaka.
Yes.
He's throwing acronyms after acronyms, but the good thing is he's explaining. Please go ahead.
Quadruple helix.
Yes.
So there are certain people, stakeholders that are needed for entrepreneurship to thrive.
Okay.
So we have government, we have industry, we have academia. Then we have CSOs. So recently there was the introduction of civil society organizations. So all of these people are trying to solve the issue of entrepreneurship, maybe from different sides.
And the main enemy is poverty.
Yes. So if they're able to collaborate in a synergetic way, then entrepreneurship is able to thrive.
Yes.
So like you said, even for big tech, they are playing within the ecosystem. Of course, there is talent. I mean, if the ecosystem doesn't work generally, then we don't achieve what we call the attractor state. Attractor state is a state of bliss, utopia, where the ecosystem is growing. We are achieving our own farm level targets or opportunities, whether they are profits, etc.
Jobs.
But the ecosystem is growing. The thing is, if we become too cannibalistic and we are like picking without looking at the bigger good, then the ecosystem stagnates or shrinks. So I mean, for me, it's a rallying call for us to be able to look at the bigger picture. We can be able to create more value collaborating rather than competing, and we probably can be able to reach that attractor state. So the sooner these people are able to, or these stakeholders are able to collaborate, the better for the ecosystem. Short-termism can be able to give you
sustainable
short-term value in terms of economic opportunities. But if you look at the going concern of the business 5-10 years to be the next IBM, I mean, you can't be able to do that if you are just completely cannibalizing an ecosystem.
IBM, you're talking about a century. Not 10 years. So you have even to actually...
And funny enough, they are still humble enough to partner. To date.
Yes. So that actually piggybacks to the point you made that IBM could be able to solve problem at scale. So it didn't just happen, right? It's a matter of over and over research, over and over innovating, and also actually ensuring that they're partnering with the people you mentioned, the key stakeholders, to ensure that the pipeline doesn't run.
Even the issue of disruption, sometimes even narratives that we just pick for the sake of picking, sometimes doesn't work for us. So you find that the narrative that is being pushed for you to be a startup is you must disrupt. Sometimes disruption is not the way forward. If you look at industries such as aviation, they have had incremental innovation. Maybe with Rolls-Royce doing the engine. Within the engine, someone invented a new material, material science, someone from academia. So it's always a question of incremental innovation that is happening, not ideally disrupting. So that if you're waking up and as a startup, you're saying, I must disrupt the financial sector.
You are growing from zero instead of building on giants.
Why can't you just go have a conversation and say, look, sign an NDA. I have this solution. If they want to collaborate with them. You make your money, they get value, move on. Probably you can be able to disrupt later on when you are rich. Otherwise, you can't be broke, living in a bed sitter and saying, I'm the next big thing I'm going to disrupt. Boss, you'll disrupt yourself.
Thank you so much, Victor. That was an amazing conversation. But as usual, please give your parting shot, and also Graham, even if it's a verse from the Bible that people can learn from.
Hallelujah.
That should be. Graham is good with these things. Yes.
I almost became a pastor. God refused.
But please, Victor.
I mean, for me, I think, I'm a born-again Christian. So I always say that everything works for good.
Yes.
For those who love God and are called according to His purpose. So everyone has their own purpose.
Yes.
Work on your path, and of course, with your hard work, then probably everything would work for you good. So don't stress, chill. Life is never that serious.
Very nice.
Peace
very
out.
Nice.
Mic drop.
Very nice.
Thank you very much, Victor. For me, I'd say I'm pleasantly surprised that Nairobi City County has a data center. And I think that I go out of this conversation with one thought, that maybe these county governments are full of pleasant surprises, and we need to fish them out.
Yes. Very nice, very nice. So for me, this is Michael Kemadi, or MK if you want, and this is Africa's Talking podcast in collaboration with the Impact Masters podcasts, telling the stories across Africa for tech movers and shakers, and telling the way it is, the African way, because our story has always been told by others. So we want to tell it the way it is. But finally, please subscribe, like us, follow us, comment, share with your friends. As long as you're in tech or in this ecosystem and you're looking for a solution, this is for you. Thank you so much. Until next time, see you.